It's not that I can do taxes any better than anybody else.
Right. It usually never is.
And, you know, so, but people come do business with people they feel comfortable with and people that provide them a commodity. Time is a commodity. A lot of the clients that I do business with now, they do business with me because I provided them that leisure, that commodity of, hey, I don't have to leave the comfort of my home to be able to get this financial resource done that I really don't want to mess with. Right. It's a huge commodity. So if I can save people that time, I'm, now a commodity to them as well.
That's solid.
And talk to me about social media, man. Talk to me about social media, because social media is something that I'm seeing used in so much business, and I've been using a lot of my business in the last 3 to 4 years. I used it when I was selling cars. As a finance broker, I've been using it. Obviously, in the tax business, I've been using it as well. So tell me what is going on right now in social media. What platforms are working? What is clicking right now on social media?
What's happening is that we're realizing that all platforms are relevant, right? We're realizing that there actually is a science to, marketing on the internet, right? It is still very ambiguous. I will not deny that, but there are best practices, right? There are things that have translated or correlated from just general marketing, philosophy. I think it's just a matter of seriously audit, where your resources are at, and then the cost effectiveness and the cost efficiency of different marketing methods of today and their relevancy. I will say in some instances, one platform would serve a different type of business better than the other. But again, it comes back to, realizing that you can make the platform be successful to whatever extent you want it to be, as much as you put into it, or as much as you're doing the right things on it, and for how long you're doing the right things on it. I would say, if you're asking, kind of alluding to what would be good for your business, you definitely have to be on Facebook ads. Facebook provides such a leveraged opportunity for you in the sense that majority of the people doing what you're doing majority of them are not creating content. There's a small portion of them that are creating content that sucks. And then there's a super small portion of people in your space that are creating content that is in line with proper marketing practices. Bring the real emotional connection that people are looking for when they're coming to do taxes. You just have to be creative, or find those people who are creative that know how to storytell around what you do.
See, I'm so optimistic. Boy, I'm that college daydreamer. Just trying to make enough to see myself driving a Beamer. And since I'm spitting verses that are hotter than a fever, all my music tends to be on the tight end like a receiver.
I don't know, man. This generation is just so different, right? The perception of what it takes is so skewed sometimes. You are the head. You are the motherfucking president of this corporation. It is imperative that you set the tone of the culture of work ethic that is necessary and required of you and your team to have success. When I see business owners that don't want to get out there and get their hands dirty or be in those trenches with their people, but then are promising them some grand vision on the back end, it's very disheartening. With me, I don't expect anybody inside of my organization to be more of what the business needs than myself. Right? I don't expect them to be as excited. I don't expect them to be as dedicated. I don't expect them to be as committed. I don't expect them to work as hard. What I expect is for them to be a fraction of what I am. And so that's where I go on the offensive. I don't leave it up to anybody else, right? Like, I determine the culture of my own environment. And I think where most business owners are going astray, especially my generation of business owners, is that they're not operating in alignment with their own truth, right? Like their own truth about themselves, as opposed to what we see in majority of business owners in today's day and age. They are choosing to enter into a space because it's cool for the moment. And because it's only cool for the moment, that's the only motivation behind their choice to enter into that space, they limit themselves.
Like, my agency, we're in a critical stage, right? Like, where we're 2 years in, and we're to the point where it's like, okay, you have to start scaling out in order to take on these higher clients.
Yeah.
They're requesting more, needing more. They're also paying more. So, I wanted to see, what your take on, like coming on over here with the percentage of shares being given.
Right, so I just think personally, I understand your whole intention is, I feel like it's for the agency is to scale it and to sell it, right? But what if
Hold the cash, man.
I feel you. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm thinking, okay, well, if that's the case, you can still do the same, but with shares of influence that already has a platform for 2 years ahead. You bring your value, and there's a platform for your value to be displayed. Right. The culture is similar, right? Like we're on the same vibe.
Yeah.
So if I can help you get to where you're trying to get faster and maybe even further along, right? Like if we're dealing with higher level clients, and let's say you have, five shares, 10 shares, whatever, it matures over 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Fuck it, you didn't have to take on any of the liability to get the reward.
Yeah.
But
I think that's definitely a conversation we definitely can continue to have.
I didn't mean to come in here and like throw it on you, but like.
No, I mean, I was like, if he's pressing for this, there's something behind it, and I'm like, cool,
8, 12, 18 months down the road, when shit is actually getting tough and you're hitting that breaking point of whether you give up or not, or whether you keep going but then do it part-time and take on a full-time job, that's the moment you need to put in everything you got. Collaboration. When you bring value, you get what the fuck you want. Keep bringing. Don't stop giving.